Hey, Tianna, Raphael Haynes from the Three Point Conversion. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Tianna, how has training camp been so far? Adjusting different from last year, just as a whole, with the bubble and everything. How have you adjusted and adapted to training camp this year?
I mean, it feels good to be back in the real gym and not in the bubble. But training camp so far has been going well. Just learning so many different players and just learning my teammates. It's been pretty cool so far.
Spencer Nussbaum, go ahead.
Sure. Coach has talked a lot so far about your leadership and basketball IQ, even though you've only been there for about a week. Could you just kind of walk us through, how you put your leadership into action to the point where, even on day one, coach is already talking about it?
I mean, I think just having I take pride in having, a certain level of professionalism, and just if I see areas where I can speak up, I use that time to speak up, and just giving great encouragement to the young players and also players that were already here, and just using my voice in a way that it would be positive and it would make our team better.
Spencer, we'll go back to you. Go ahead.
Sure. And obviously now that you've had some time to adjust and kind of figure out what the team's looking like, again, it's still pretty early, but could you just give us like what your expectations are, from this point?
My expectations, we're going to be a very tough team. I mean, I would hate for the team that has to play us on any given night, because there's just so many different weapons that we have offensively, defensively. We're tough. It's just some small things that we're trying to fine tune in practice, but we all know that we want to win, we want to compete, and we want to score. I mean, but that was no surprise, when I signed here in Atlanta. There's so many scores on the team. So it's just right now just trying to figure out how we can, get everybody shots and how we can play together.
And we're a little short on time, so we'll go back to Raphael Haynes for the last question. Go ahead.
Hey, Tianna, you played in Seattle your rookie year and then in Washington for the remainder. Now you're here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Going to a different team, when, like you said, you're learning your players, learning the playbook, does it feel like the first day of WNBA for you when dealing with?
Not really. It wasn't really like the first day. I think the biggest thing for you, when you're going to a new team, coming from a team that you spent so much time with, is just figuring out and, seeing where you can fit in. What are the things that you can bring, to the team that will help the team be better. And that's just something that I'm focusing on, finding the little things that I could bring from my past experience, down here in Atlanta.